let's do this. I might do the trial informer in 2 parts, or I might do it in 1 part. I don't know. Let's get the notes out. And I'll move the game over here, as well as here. And move it over here, a little more over here. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Trial former. Let's go. October 8th, 9:48 a.m. Good morning.
So you're Vera, right? I'm Trissy. Trissy, right? That's right with a W. But, not right?
Compelling, isn't it?
We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please.
Good talk. Good talk. Oh, finally she speaks.
Good morning. She speaks? Not bad. I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty, you need to sell yourself, you know?
Okay, that don't seem to work like that, dear. Trucy, let's take it easy for starters.
Thank you for taking my case. Okay, well that's a start, I guess.
There she goes with a nail polish gun.
Oh, that's great, really. It's so cultured. Want to try? Oh, really?
Girls. The victim, Drew Machon, was a forger. And a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. Maybe one that led to his death. October 8th, 10 a.m. We will now begin trial. The mission.
Just okay. His voice is all raspy. He's looking around all nose like.
The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is the test of the Jewish system,
And their first step towards a new order in our courts. That is the mission.
the juries will function like a jury. It is hoped that inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's views.
Why aren't there any jurors in the courtroom?
Three closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurors have access to everything that transpires. Jurists! Judge Laird and Judge Cool. And now see you, Prosecutor Garvin. I I was going to say that. My apologies, Constance. Judge today's trial coolly, if you be so kind. This is what happens when Ace Attorney goes on the social media circuit. The judges are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial of evidence, but by their feelings. What? Fuck their feelings! And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case are good. The victim is Panther, through my shop. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned in the house. By none other than the defendant, There wasn't any poison in the coffee! Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the monk's suit. The mud, residue was found on the remedy. The autopsy report describes the manner of the victim's death. Court accepts this as evidence. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by acetylene poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. The lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of acetylene in the body is the touch of the Reaper 6. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist not out. The witness will state his name and occupation. Ah! Right! Well, for starters, my name's Bart Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? Ahem! If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Brushel. I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to aspects of conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you're a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop that turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End quote. Let's hear your testimony, shall we? Simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. This is just going to be day 2, so I'm just going to do the entirety of day 2. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalists make history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next. Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That does sound like a simple case. Well, that's... You wouldn't want no poison. What do you say, Judge? Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today?
I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you?
Me doing it like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news. End quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt. End quote. I know. Wild accusations rock a courtroom. End quote.
Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
I'm so happy for him.
Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
Yeah, sir. What's this about a star falling?
Star falls, huh? It's like a little telegram. Send money over.
Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there?
True, see.
I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Doesn't matter. Oh boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, wax punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, wax imagination. Of course you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. The star's coffee. You say Mr. Mission had the coffee too? But did you actually see him drink the coffee? Course! He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. Frank? He's had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mouth, drinks, end quote.
That was quite embarrassing.
My stomach does so-called somersault. Since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there? Some kind of so-called trick? Anyone wants to venture a guess for the record? I think I have a pause button.
Well, Mr. Jesse, did you find that testimony valuable?
Very. The victim drank his coffee. They immediately fell over. Oh, yes, you could go to press with that one. Your Honor, this is vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well, the witness will add this to his testimony.
Vital, right. He had one sip. In fact, the next moment he was on the floor. So you're saying this right here, Igiotti! You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Etroquinine.
Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even your mental justice will be reduced to a quivering pile.
Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information.
on a mission.
Atropine is as violent as he says, but death does not come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atropinine's slow-acting.
Slow-acting?
What? According to one forensic scientist, it's one of the most violent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he still would have time left to enjoy his last cup of joe.
Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just had.
Well, Mr. Russell, on the record, slow acting, S-L-O-W-A-C-T. Yeah, it was violent, alright. Even then, it already had begun digging its claws into the journalist. He's working on a skill.
It's Brussels, yeah? El Brussels. Let us take a trip back down memory lane. Did the victim really die the instant he took a seat? Thinking over this fight.
You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote.
I admit it does cause a problem if he died. You say he died. I would be forced to say a little thing to the simple guess. And you would be forced to say farewell to your husband.
Come again?
Well, yeah, that would be it. You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scene. And you will be forced to case your excuses scroll goes by. Dude, what the? Oh man, that's nasty.
Look, wait, just wait a second, just wait 1 second.
We're waging out with it.
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story's survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I've heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see?
But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes of that. Mr. Dressel, are you saying you know something of what happened?
You bet I am! The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee.
Order! As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank.
Of course I'm standing by my testimony. And my trainer exclusive rights to this story.
I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not you. Him. Phoenix Wright, who else? Tongue and brusher, report fast if you would. What is that you noticed? This court's a critical trial of the justice. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mission was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought of nothing of it at the time, of course. And now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
Suicide note?
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face, inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote. Suicide? Poor Mr. Mission. But that means Farrah's innocent. Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh.
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination.
Sir? So he put the letter away when he saw you. Early reporter gets worm. End quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, door opens, and I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that a lawful entry, really? Mr. Misham would sure seem to think so. You should have seen him. Framed his letter into that yellow envelope so fast as good. I know it's when I spot one, and that was one.
That seems significant. Well, Mr. Justice.
I wonder. He does have to bring up something important. And defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
Very well, please add your testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account come free of charge. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it's left at the crime scene.
I'm sorry, sir. I must deny you the fact that it wasn't a yellow envelope, but it was.
As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. What? Prosecutor Gavin. Yes. Was a yellow envelope found at the crime scene?
Unfortunately, no. But careful.
It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. I guess, but not this time. You see, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago.
Well, Mr. Brewster?
I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of my sight, my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction? Chump.
Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to this claim?
That night, the victim put a letter in. That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. It's impossible. That's impossible.
I like your expression so full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this letter with the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Know that this letter is addressed to Drew Meisher. Huh? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself?
To be truthfully honest, that's what I did with my book. When I first actually did this, when I first took on my, my quote-unquote hinotori, I did the following, in which, at the time, I never thought about it, but my folks did. So what they told me was, make 2 copies. You send one to yourself and send one to, wherever it's going, like, say, Library of Congress. You want to have the second one sent back to you just for all intents and purposes, that is evidence of your work. So for those who are interested in making a book, that's what you should do. You should always send off 2 copies. One to get it copyrighted and another to yourself. Just so you have on hand evidence that, this is your work. You send it to yourself. So in case anything happens, okay, I have it right here.
I'm in school!
Order! Mr. Brussel, can't you explain this to the court?
Oh, my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots. End quote.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brussel!
Well, that's the thing, see, after he put his letter in an envelope, Mr. Risham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp! A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
A stamp, whatever for?
Why, the mail's letter, what else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letter box. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
Again, I'm looking at red. What the hell are you looking at, dude? But apparently this yellow leather has nothing to do with this.
Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story! Star writes suicide note in front of reporter, falls. End quote.
As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That's it.
Yes, Your Honor.
It makes me wonder about the contents of that run. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. At least that's done 7 years ago, yeah?
So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing.
What the
fuck? I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone. But when you catch the scent of a story, you make that rather unique face. Ah, come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote.
Even I noticed something in my eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff's about.
Judge has active imagination. End quote.
Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of the story.
Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. usually.
What I'm doing right now is I'm actually looking at his patterns. Right underarm, my left. Usually, he says.
Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview. End quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
So you threatened to go to press with this story. That's how you got your interview? Blackmail?
Well, yes. I mean, no! It wasn't exactly black.
Is something wrong, Mr. Brussel?
Look!
I'm looking, dude.
This is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is a livelihood. End quote.
Hey, Sheep.
Well, you have me chatting way in here. What's going on out there? What if some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? It could be going to press while I'm going to waste.
The court feels your pain, Mr. Brussel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace.
A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago?
Oh my god, look at that sweat spot.
Mr. Brussel, you're hiding something. Ah! Don't sound like that. You give me a heart attack. Ah! Sorry. It's just the way you were moving just now. It was particularly suspicious. What was that supposed to mean? So usually I'm just some sort of averagely suspicious. Sorry, my mistake. You're fine. I know I'm onto something here. Time to focus.
Right there!
Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Yeah, well, I mean, I can't help it. Go ahead, It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent.
What? That's
Evidence tag. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. Just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter.
Or rather, could I?
This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. Second is that there was another painting in that studio, which looks exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000. Which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. That's all, Your Honor.
Everyone, please! Everyone! Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop!
Poetry. That's what she described.
True Misham's known as an artist these days, but there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back.
About meaning poetry.
True Misham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements. What? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago.
How many times have 7 years ago been mentioned in this one part? 7 years ago? Like 1, 2, 3, 6 right now. So we do understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for.
Exactly. Forge evidence, there's tiny profit. End quote.
Order! Order! Why, it's like our victim was living a double life.
Haha, this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
Objection! That's right. This is Liza's tie here of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when he conducted our investigation.
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
Objection! But there's no proof tying this letter to our case.
Yeah?
Our case was and remained simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that booklet.
And of course. Hey! The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
No, what you talk about? My journalism rock solid. Journalism so solid you can stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial's over.
Apollo, what's he talking about? Cross-examination showed Mr. Bushel didn't have any reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects. Then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance.
Mr. Bushel, your testimony, please.
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that moment. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
Nice testimony. Clear. Fucking. And without room for doubt.
Aw, shucks. You really think so?
I believe this clarifies the situation at night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination.
Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Not one thing. You're sure? Yep, sure could be. Well, with one exception.
What exception? What?
Journalist Spark Russell does interview Leaf Studio. End quote.
What the fuck?
Come on! It's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before?
Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have happened to the studio?
Just one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene.
By which you mean something other than our witness?
Of course.
No, Ted, that ain't me, so.
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional.
And let's see what you've done for us, Mr. Johnson.
Well, this thing wasn't at the crime scene, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene.
The letterbox.
This is the only link between that studio and the outside world.
Letterbox?
What did Mr. Brushell just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, it was true. Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letter box. But that very same letter box was empty. In other words, that night the yellow envelope disappeared.
Yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Huh?
Yes, point, Mr. Joseph. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Michel. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappear?
Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me.
Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it.
I still think this fails to change anything at forehead.
I wonder if that's sugar. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been waiting for.
Waiting, looking, you've been waiting for this entire moment.
A letter was put in the post from the studio, but I think that hardly matters.
The only thing that touched was lips.
You're sure about that? Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling Mick in the time. One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragments of meat filled the room. And no meat residue was found.
Was a long shot anyway.
Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this.
You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Johnson, if you've something to prove.
The possibility is there. I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it. Not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it. Not now. Mr. Misham injected that poison via a route other than coffee. I can prove this. Proof is possible. It does not.
You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof at forehead, not possibilities.
Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof.
What did you say?
I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw it right away, I did.
This was picked up by the mailman, I assume.
Of course, which means an envelope had a stamp on it.
A stamp?
As we all know, stamps come with dry glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
No one you are talking to actually needs stamps in this day and age. I do. If ever I have something I need to send back, I would have to moisten that part just enough to say it's sealed. And then just send it off either on the same day or the next day. It's got 30 minute walk to the post office, pick it up. Or a nice 5 to 10 minute or a nice 5 to 10 minute bus ride.
If you wanted to talk to him, even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. Dead end.
Okay, so I did the stop. But wait! How does that explain the actual cleaning on the rim of the coffee mug?
If you lick the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would happen if he put the mug to his mouth? Those traces on his mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
What?
The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Measham. Mr. Measham poisoned the coffee mug himself.
Hold on! But that just... does it?
Recall, if you would, atrophine's a slow-acting poison, yet the poison entered his body when he put the stamp on an envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of jelly.
What? Yeah.
Fuck. I'm writing all this down. Yep.
You have something to add, Mr. Bushel?
Uh-oh. His nose picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing. See, after he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Measham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. He has a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe you just run out.
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the crime scene. There were no stumps. Not single.
That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible.
Good sure. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of a poison stamp?
Yeah, right here.
Well, that certainly is a little cute frame, and by little, I mean really little.
It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see, for yourself.
I noticed that too during my inspection, so what?
Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinine residue.
What? Why wasn't I told about that?
The frame's only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most.
You are saying...
Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Hold on! The poison stamp was in this frame? Oh, yeah, I would imagine it was. Possible! The prosecutor's grabbing. Why would he put something like that on this disc? Don't tell me it there so he could commit suicide in the moonstruck.
No, can I say something? I thought she...
What, Mr. Brusher? And please stop jittering around like that.
Victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. A forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Objection!
hostage. Leave the ridiculous fights of Francie to the governors. Some next, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stuff was another with nonsense. Now there's a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No. I disagree. Kankin? Recall viewer. The victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Mesham. Hid from the road. Avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. From who? Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous! Where's your proof? I want proof! Shows evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. I might not have evidence per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
What is the problem? Your fists are trembling.
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Mission was killed.
Well, finish in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. And I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. The red envelope.
Isn't this just the envelope? The one from 7 years ago?
Think about the text of the letter again. I'll have to pull up the Teacher Alexa for this part. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison on the stamp. Lick, lick, gasp. End quote. Now, what if you had done exactly as the letter asked?
You would sign the document, put it in an envelope, and put a stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letter box.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between effects, the stamp, and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite convenient thanks to the postal system.
Such a splendid imagination. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, yeah? Is that what you have us believe?
Whoa. It's a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
Yes, very small possibility. How small?
A poison stamp in this envelope. A stamp that then became murder weapon.
How do you attempt to prove this seeming coincidence?
Well,
it was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence. I see. Very well, Emoto. It's not nice to pick on the Fräulein Clavier.
Emma! Well, Like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like it?
Don't quit your day job.
Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fräulein Detective?
Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case.
Yes?
You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted science a little more. You can find all this if that stuff was in that envelope easy.
Can't explain yourself, Fräulein Detective.
Blame me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
Ah, that's right!
Poison detection spray. Poison detection spray.
Reduce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. So, what we need to do, this is the reason why I had to basically do the following. Go to my main screen. Just so I can spray this. And you can't see it, but where I'm circling with my cursor is the right screen. I mean the area. Well, you'll see. 1, 2, 3. Boop. You see this right here? Boop. Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's atropine residue.
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now 7 years past its fangs at last. Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. He realized that the person who sent that letter was dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And what is the size of evidence in a frame? You're still here?
Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor Toothbrush, Razor Tooth? Claim this scoop is mine! Drew Measham killed in cold. Drew Measham killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter. End quote. Now maybe something more sucking. Star falls after 7-year delay. End quote.
What? Order! I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached its mouth after 7 years, it leaves a very nasty taste in the mouth, I know, right? Stab is ticket straight to afterlife. End quote.
Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence or they catch.
I see no need for further debate. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo, I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds the defendant. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Garnia's concert. Tickets for Garnia's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in our Hothead's claim.
A contradiction?
Poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would the nation have done what it did?
Emma, explain that! He must have realized it was poison.
Nice, Noru. Eh? 7 years ago, the forger of the nation sensed the trap and put a stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why 7 years later did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Sure you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Nisham simply don't. He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and for what?
You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself?
I admit, this is all quite shocking himself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall foul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Paul, I don't think we're winning anymore.
I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the view now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope?
The poison stamp. Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to focus? I see no proof that such thing ever existed.
What about the atropine residue, huh?
Oh, I agree that those seem to be atropine residue. But it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but...
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, your mushroom never used it. That is all. I believe we've come to a conclusion.
Paul, were we real the whole time?
I can't believe it. The poison trace is mashed up. It can't be coincidence.
I'd like to bring something closer to this issue sometime near here. Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor?
Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, through Masham, received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison quinine on that document inside an envelope. Similar traces also found at the crime scene, on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that was left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if the envelope contained poison stamp, and Drew Mason, knowing this, put it in a frame, he will never use that stamp. I am afraid you're right, which means that there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. Traces of action, of the frame, and Drew Mason's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense. Which means that one of our clues must be a fake.
Ah, fake clue.
Fascinating. And if we find it's fake, your fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah. The fake clue that's thrown us off. The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison trail is none other than Drew Mason.
The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Objection!
Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story about you, that.
Fake clothes. Fakes. Forgeries. I know that face! That's the I just had an idea face! I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway! What if our forger is the fake?
How did
7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped inside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
That's what I want to know.
Because the forger who was killed was a fake.
Here we are again. The victim was a fake.
One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers. And one of them was a fake.
Ora! So you're telling us that through my son, the victim was a fake. Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of Sicharu. And if you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us who the real Drew Masham was. If Drew Masham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person. Could have been. I'm mistaken. Forger Drew Masham was himself a forgery. You see where this is going? Drew my sham. The real forger was Hey! There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger, known as Drew Masham, is none other than his only daughter, Vera Masham. Ora! Ora, ora, ora! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you!
I kind of think you mean Vera, of course. Let's consider it before you write it off. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery has been taking place in that studio for quite some time. Forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who got caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense.
One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger studio. Drew Masham's and Vera's. And we know that Drew Masham wasn't the forger. That leaves only one possibility about the process of elimination. The forger was Vera Masham.
Fascinating. 面白い。やろうか? Damn it. You've been paying attention to the trial so far? Let's just ask and be done with this, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Masham?
Was that expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes at Prosecutor Gavin's
She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fräuleins, believe me. Though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those relics of art?
Yes.
So the forger drew my sham was you?
Yes, it was me.
What? The court was in an uproar. It wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Speaking for break, I'm going to take a drink break, and I'll be right back. Drink break. Be right back. And it wasn't just a sham. Wow. Alright, okay. And I'm back. I only had to take a drink break, had to make a drink to come back in. Not a big drink, but you know, It's a respectable drink of some juice and apple soda. I see myself getting myself a nice coffee after this. Seriously. Ooh. Check some few things here. Okay. Alright. So going live. Let's see. I apologize if I'm currently doing some other stuff behind the scenes. Well, I don't apologize for that. A whole lot of things are going behind the scenes, like the dog barking, and God knows what else. We're supposed to be having like rain, but I doubt we're gonna be having rain. So there's that. So excuse me. October 8th, October 8th, 1:24 p.m.
Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Mysham who was killed wasn't Drew Mysham the forger, basically.
Well then who was he?
Well, he was actually... going green now. So you really made those forgeries?
Yes, for Father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had a talent for making forgeries. How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
She has a quirk. Anything?
Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those
Forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution or personality. I know very little of the world outside my door.
I don't know how to take this. She's a shut-in. She's almost a recluse like her father is.
Now, because of me, Father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already, creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
What was I doing when I was 12 years old? I remember. At 12, I was doing... Black swords. Yeah. At that age, you know, I was playing video games, you know. Basically playing video games, that's all. And I remember at the time, I had Sega CD. I had a Sega CD. In between 2 games I was, at the time, I was playing a lot of RPGs. But I had a small amount of RPGs. Well, on Sega Genesis, I had like quite a bit of selection. So one thing I remember doing was stories. I basically just like wrote a banter through Sonic the Hedgehog 2. When I was young, just basically wrote up a banter, between all the stages, what they were going through. I was writing the story behind everything that was going on within every stage, within every zone, from the first to the final zone. I just basically just wrote it. Just like, that's what I was doing when I was young. So yeah, writing. I did brainstorms even back then. Oh, it doesn't mean that I'm smart, no. It just means I still have a very active imagination. Even now, it's like I have a very much active imagination. Nothing has changed. I'm actually glad that part of me has not changed. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time! To the courtroom, please! Right! Out of time.
Wait, Farrah, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio? I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 paintings. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father.
He was watching, gathering information. All about the writing company losses. But lately, we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks and gags to raise the camera. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. What was Mr. Wish?
I'm supposed to know!
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
I doubt he'd be called Thomas. Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. It's already confusing enough of all these daddies running around. We know that the victim's daughter there was the fortune. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. October 8th, 1:36 p.m. Court's back in session. There seems pretty tense. She's practically showing her fingertips. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it works. How do you select this true nation forge your persona? bear can. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard?
Very well, Mitch. Very well, Mitch. You won. Did you really make the most detestable poetry? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting, the remarkably senior one?
Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So she was the one who made the portrait. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of the operation. So the victim was astounded, a decoy. To the world at large, she was the forger, not her. Regardless, we need a little more information about, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah?
Yes. It was in the destroy.
Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us about everything you know about this envelope.
I created things and Father saw them. This envelope came after my first one. That was other than a painting. Father handed it to me, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
Yes, and there was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination.
Right. Okay. I need more information about this forger. This drew my shrimp. Iced coffee, here I come. So these things you were making, you mean paintings, identical to other paintings, right?
Because said they were to have your father was. I just had me too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Easy there. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Hey, there's more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well kill your father.
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point.
But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance,
A letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
none of that makes her sound very innocent at all.
And be one of the dozen that are promising this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for two of myself. A new industry. The creation of paintings to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence in other words.
do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back? Actual quinine?
A moment now, you can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you will tell me, Fräulein here. Why did you receive why did you receive the stamp? Is something wrong?
It was
You mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
yes, I think it was.
So you didn't know about the poison?
Guess not? So the trap failed by chance, by mistake. Thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite a close call.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
The single job that tied to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Mission wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
We had to meet someone for some reason. Father Close as the creator of the book.
So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Marshall. You did the work and supplied the face. You did the work and he supplied the face. A two-man operation.
So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not.
Oh. About this commemorative stamp. Could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty, and more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new.
Apparently, we got some close examination yet ahead of us. If you'll be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fräulein.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
You mean this?
Could I? You got it? Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Apollo? They're not a bunch.
I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in the business letter?
Good question.
Well, these stamps are always better. You can't be true to Murray.
But the whole murder's plan was a failure because of it. Ironically, us two together. Us two together. Good morning.
What's wrong with Gavin?
Might I ask just one question of the witness? testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? No! Answer the question! No! Constitutes the curtain. You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is becoming important. But I must know, please. Miss Misha. A book. Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book, like a diary.
No! I don't know! What? Fuck? I know. I have nothing to do with this one, man. I'm telling you, man. A book? No, I am pretty damn sure, man.
Well, what's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss, this book. Was there a picture of a cigarette on the back cover? Yes or no? And a better question did say, take your heart on it. Was there a silk hat, a mask? Was it covered in flames? And on the bottom did say, take your heart on it. That's what we want to know.
How did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her.
Told you nothing, has she? Your science saying Minta. Nothing!
Sally. Who?
Yuri Chinaruhodo! Who else?
Daddy?
He never told her about the trial set, does he? About how he came to lose his eternity match. How many times was this mentioned? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided to hit. A certain daddy. On the back, he bore the mark of a silk hat. And it said, take your heart. What? Phoenix Wright. Naruhodo Ryuichi. Tossed out of the profession by false evidence? Well, it's not the first time. The fortune made that evidence. Is the girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us! The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Maichin, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? Was it Dojinishi? Naoto... Shit, I forgot her name. Takeuchi? Takeuchi. Naoto Takeuchi?
We only met once.
You met the client. Well, who was it?
It was.
Theo? Convince me, man.
What's going on there? Staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, but is there something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary.
Who was it? Vera! Defendant Vera Mission. Condition: unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis: acute atropine poisoning. I know, right? This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Marchand. Vera Marchand was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She's currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth. Oh man, damn, I don't know what I can say to that one. Oh my god. Oh man, I am not, oh good lord, I am not prepared for, oh Jesus. I am looking at all this, oh my god, I am truly not prepared for it. Oh my god, this is, oh no. I am not prepared for this. Oh man, I gotta go back to being Phoenix Wright again. Wow, okay. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at the trial former and the trial ladder. Oh my lord. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh no. I think I'm hitting the 2-hour mark, and I'm actually going to call this right here. I'm looking straight at the notes, and oh my god. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna be doing that. I'm not feeling it to do the entirety of past. I was not mentally prepared for this, but I will be. Oh, best believe I will be prepared for it. next week if I don't do it Friday. You know what? I will actually save this for Friday, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do this Friday. Sure, why not? I've already finished Spider-Man. I don't feel like jumping into something else. So yeah, Friday, we're going 7 years in the past to see what the hell was going on back then, and following that for Wednesday, or I might do it Monday, we go into the Mason system. Sure, why not? I can move it around. Sure, why not? So even though it's rather late, I don't care. I'm going to get myself some iced coffee, clear my brain, and work on something else in the meantime. So until then, thanks for coming out. Oh boy. Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Oh god. Yeah, it's going to take me all the way back to that. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said, I am not going to do this. I was not mentally prepared for this. I said, give me about a day. It's like, okay, I'm going to just like move Mafia from Monday to Wednesday. Just like, you know what? Fuck that. So Friday, yeah, definitely going to 7 years in the past. Hey Chris, what's going on, man? I was about to end the stream, but man, I'm just gonna let this one slide right now. Are you being? Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just basically finishing up this stream. On top of that, and just like I'm coming down from this whole case, this whole case of what's going on now and what we're going to be dealing with for the next couple of days. But still, I've been doing alright. It's just been busy. I just finished my clothes today. Yes, you did. You caught me at a good time. You caught me at a good time, because I'm like, at the end of this, like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this, but what I will do is I'll just say safe. Just safe. Thank you. Because I gotta save, and then I had to do that makes no goddamn sense. Oh, no. I think what I'm gonna do is just do this. I'm actually going to close this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. Just close it, because yeah, let's just close that. But still, I'm still going to stream. I'm still going to be streaming. I just need to put it down. It's like, okay, they couldn't just say save, and I did save, so it doesn't really matter. I can actually just just do the following, which is basically just say, oh, hey, yes, you caught me at a good time. Yes, the next part's going to be redoing Phoenix Wright's quote-unquote final case. Like I said, I was not mentally prepared for this. Like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, because I'm like, yeah, as 40 would say, this case is a trip. Yeah, this whole case is a trip. It's like, oh, now we're in present time. Now we're going to move into past, and now we're going to move into, yeah, no. I'm like, mm-mm. I'm like, I'm okay, man. No, we not going to do that today. So if you're coming in and seeing a black screen, like, no, I'm just basically closing up. Where was the fucking disclaimer prior to the game? Yeah, that's what I want. I was like, so this is what happened here. It's all about the poison. And it's slow acting. And how it killed one man who was basically like the face, but not the body. The body was being protected by the face. Go figure. I'm telling you, man, this case as a whole, it's kind of funny. This is Capcom we're talking about. The one thing I would say is, if, and I truly mean if there is ever a fan project to where they're going to do voice acting for this, I want to be part of that voice acting project. I really need to talk about this, and I'm just doing this without screen whatsoever, because like I said, it's basically something that I've actually been going through a bit. One of my projects. I can't really talk about it, but another streamer friend of mine, Big Fatty Plus, he actually sent me a notification about, there's a project going on, a Final Fantasy 8-9 project. He sent me the site for it. So I said, you know what? Sure, why not? Filled in all my information, content info, everything, and everything else. And that was about at least a couple days back. So a couple days after the fact, I do the following. I'm like, I had a whole lot of things were coming up, doctor's appointments and everything. So, figured, I need something that could just basically take my mind off things. So here I am. I'm taking my mind off this whole thing. Taking my mind off, doctor's appointments and everything else. I got one coming up next month, and that's about my heart. Aside from that, I get this response from the person in charge of say this project. So one thing he wants me to do. So what I did was I contacted him back. I said, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind if I were to do RPGs or visual novels. I don't mind doing that because doing a visual novel fully voiced. I don't care if it's a fan made project. I've been part of collabs before. I've been a part of Half Blind Gamers projects before when he was doing Battle of Olympus, and I was part of I was part of Big's project and 40's project because they were doing the same game. They were doing Chroma Squad. So I was part of their projects. And of course I did Chroma Squad myself, and basically just I just did all of it by myself. So I said, you know what, I'm no stranger to collabs. So it'd be a nice thing to do since, I hadn't been doing collabs in like years. and I've only done 3 collabs during my time being on YouTube, and that's with 3 people I actually know on the streaming circuit. So therefore, it's like, well, I don't mind. It'd be good, and I can just build my rep up as a voice actor. Because I don't really need, as much as I would like to do it for pay, but just to get my rep up, my personal rep, that'd be great. That'd be one of the possible things I would love to do. Just get my rep up as an artist. Basically, that's what I want to do. Just get my rep ability up as an artist. Because if I can't do anything other than what I've been doing, so well, let's see. Art has been running in my family for years. My dad was a musician. My mom was a singer. I'm basically a mixture of both. The only thing is I cannot do drums. My dad was a drummer. He was a jazz drummer. I can't do drums. Because of my disability, I really cannot. I can't do anything like ambidexterity. I can't do anything with 2 hands so well. I've tried. It doesn't work for me. Can't do anything for my left side because, I don't have very much feeling on my left side. Just very little, but not to where, I can actually do something a bit more like drive a car or something like that. Just very little to no feeling. I basically have a small bit of feeling when I walk, but that's about it. That's all I can really do. But I can't do other than just basic. I can't go beyond basic. Sad but true. So, the only thing I could do is I take my mom's side, I sing. So, I tried drawing. I can draw if I feel like it. I got a few drawings on me, but they're not as good as, say, what my girlfriend could do. She could draw. Meg could draw. She could draw like the best of them. And like, I look at my drawing like, yeah, my drawing ain't that good. They look all super deformed and everything. Almost everything looks super deformed, unless if I were to basically do stroke drawing. And apparently that's how I can do Japanese, because it's all in strokes. I've even done as far as shorten down my signature down to like 1, 2, 3 strokes. And the funny thing is, I just, if I were to do my name as a full-blown signature, be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 strokes. My full name, well, actually, my first and last name would be 12 strokes. If I added my middle initial, it would be what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 strokes. 6 strokes would be my middle initial. But other than that, the only thing I could do outside of, well, this is just write a book. And I haven't been doing that. And I haven't been doing that in like a while for God knows how long. And that's only because I don't know. Maybe the fact is that I'm slowly, in some form, becoming a recluse. And I trying not to be a recluse to where it needs to be said, oh, I'm recluse. No, I want to be part of the world at the same time that I don't need to be part of the world. Huh. I mean, I'd like to say it's impressive, but at the same time, it's like I mentioned this in part of the stream earlier that I started doing those stuff like I wrote scripts when I was 12 years old. And the only 2 scripts I've ever made when I was 12 years old was one for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I basically made a fan-made script of how the entirety of the game would go if there was some banter along with what the characters were going through. And I remember so vividly, I also did, I tried writing up a script within a script of one of the older games that I've ever had in my life, which was Lunar, the Silver Star story, but I said, nah, I better not. It's just not as good as saying you're playing the game and you're being part of the game itself by, actually playing it and reading every line from each character along with the narrator out loud. And let me tell you, it's like, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's something different, and you can't get more different than say, oh, hey, you're playing this person. No, you get to be in the mind of every person. I mean, you're sitting in every person's mind. You're that one person who is that voice of the protagonist. And that's what I find so interesting about being the voice of the silent protagonist, because there's a whole lot going on in the head of the protagonist that most people don't realize. Like, he gets what you're saying. So how do you know? It's like, if you're sitting inside the person's mind, you basically understand what he's going through. You understand what that person is going through. He or she, I should say. You could be the protagonist whether you are male or female. And that's something that most people don't get. It's like, you're the protagonist. You have the power to change people's lives. You have the power to do this. You have the power to do that. That's only if you want to use this power, you can indeed use this power. But if you don't want to, that's still okay too. But the only thing is, like, I'm learning all this from Persona 5. This is what's funny. I'm learning all this from Persona 5. I'm learning that you are basically making an impact in somebody's life. In many people's lives. Not just the people, not just, your own little circle of friends. But at the same time, what you're doing is you're doing, the people you meet that actually catches a glimpse of you that finds you very, very, very important. Yeah, you had to. It's like, oh, well, you talk to this person, they need help. They won't let you know they need help, but it's like, well, do you, well, you might not be interested. Like, I'm listening. That's all you have to do. Is like, you're glancing at him and you're looking at him like, but I'm listening. Are you sure? I mean, it's just talk to me. So keep talking. I'm gonna follow. The way you see, I feel like I could talk to you about anything. And all the character is doing is all the character is doing is shaking the head, just like It's like you're the counselor. You're the counselor, as well as you're the one kicking ass. You're basically like, it's like, man, if you don't get out of my face with this shit. Reminds me of when I was younger, when I was in high school, and I had many assorted adventures in high school. One was me going to boot camp. A friend of mine that I'm still in contact with to this very day. He remembers it as I remember it. we went to a boot camp by the high school that we went to. So we went to the same high school. We were just a year apart from graduating. He was 98, I was 97. So we went to this boot camp way out there in San Luis Obispo. We were not aware that it was a boot camp. They just said camp. It was be a whole week. We'd be out of school for a whole week. Little did we know that we found that there was basically the following. There was Army camp. So mind you, two of us, we were the only stupid people in the group, because little did we know it was from an army of juveniles. We got suckered into hearing, oh, it's a camp, you'll be fine. You'll be out of school for a week, but you'll be excused the entirety of the week if you just go to this camp. I'm like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we get to be out of school for a week. Okay, so we go to this camp. Boot camp. San Luis Obispo. And I'm like, are you kidding me? In my head, are you kidding me? So how many of us? And it's like 2 of us versus a whole mess of juveniles. The worst of the bunch. And me and my friend Damon, we're the only 2 who basically looking at each other and we're saying, we must be out of our goddamn minds for doing this kind of stupid shit. We should never done this. But yet, here we are, we're doing it anyway. So, let me see. This doesn't make sense for me to do this, but I think I'll just try and do this anyway. But, wait. My light's off. I can do that. So, let me do it like this. Yeah, let's just do it like that. Okay. So, as I was saying, we went to this boot camp. And the entire time that we were going through this boot camp, it's like me and my friend Damon, we were like, so, why are we here? He's like, Israel, I think we... Yeah, I know, right? It feels better because, like, I don't really use my webcam that much, but when I do, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a reason. So, like, part of me is like, it's like, oh, we got that. Oh, yeah, right. Anyway, what we're doing is, like, 2 of us were at boot camp. And what we're doing is, like, this is what we're doing, just looking at each other. Day 1 of 7 days of being in boot camp, there was, like, a whole bus of them. Like, 3 buses full. Day 1, as soon as we got off, they asked us, those who want to go back to civilization, you may go now, or forever hold your peace. There was like, say, well, I don't know, by percentage, I would say, at least 80% took off. We were part of that 20% that stayed. The 20% that stayed, we were like, And I thought about it, like, that wouldn't make sense. If we came out all the way out here, and we had to ride all the way back. I said, well, we wouldn't have a way to get back home. Plus, at the same time, it's like, they went through all this trouble to, I don't know if it's to flush people out or I don't know, but if it does make sense, I would like to understand why. So here I am, I'm thinking, okay, well, we might as well stay. We're gonna stay. We're gonna stay for at least 2. We're gonna stay for how long this is gonna last, and it took about, say, a week. Day 1, the 80% left. That leaves 20% of us left. The 20% of us went to the barracks, and the entire time this was going on, what they were doing, they were just, hooping and hollering. This is day 1, nighttime, in the barracks. So the entire time I was like this. Let me just roll back even a bit, just so I want to show you what I did that night. Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna roll back my seat a bit, just like so, right? Maybe this far back. So here I am. I'm doing this. I have my eyes like this. The entire time I'm doing this. I'm in my bed, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, but I have basically the following. I'm in a jump kick position the entire time. I'm like this. The entire time, I'm basically like, I'm asleep. Like this. I'm basically like ready to go, like right here. I'm just gonna do this. They start doing something this stupid, I'm basically just going to start throwing a kick out and BAM! Like I said, you couldn't see me do it, but I was like right there, so I was ready to go. So the entire time I'm about ready to do a jump kick. Just a straight up jump kick. Should somebody try to do something stupid to me. It was fucking hilarious. I'm serious. It was just basically like this. It's like all of a sudden, like, okay. It's like, I don't know about. Yes, I was going to do a proper lunge kick. I was going to do a lunge kick right on cue. If somebody were to do something stupid, like say if they were to take off my my cover or something like that, or they were going to have like a bucket of water on my head, and like, okay, you do something like that, guess what? I'm going to start attacking your shin. If I can't do a Hiru no Ken, I will basically attack your motherfucking shin. Or I will indeed just I will do a fucking Shoryuken. As soon as I get up, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? That you basically do that to me, I will basically kick your ass right on the spot. I don't care if I will get my ass yeeted off campus. I said, I'd be glad to get yeeted off the campus just for doing that. Day 2. Day 2, here we all are. Yes, yes, I would. Just because I'm like, nope, you gonna be doing that? You ain't gonna be doing that shit on my watch. So, day one, day two, going to sleep, going through the motions. All of us getting up at 6 o'clock. 6 a.m. in the morning. We're all up in the mountains. 6 a.m. in the morning. This was being nice. So mind you, we're going through something at 6 a.m. in the morning. Talked to my friend Damon and said, hey man, we're gonna have to move. We're gonna have to talk to the drill sergeant about this. I said, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So me and him, we spoke to the drill sergeant. I said, well, we can't sleep. You know, we had to deal with those idiots in there in the in that part of the barracks. I said, we're trying to do the same. We're trying to get up as soon as you tell us to get up, or a lot sooner. We just want to be there. When you say, I want you up at 5 a.m. morning, we're going to be up at 4:50 or something like that. So we will have everything set up. You know, we'll be standing outside. We'll have, you know, like 4:30, we'll dress our beds and everything else. 4:40, we'll be dressed. I was like, forget about trying to, you know, be, you know, presentable. You know, we're all outside. We're double down. We're double, triple down. Because it was that cold up in the mountains. So we're double, triple down. And we're doing this. And there's like 3 of us standing out there. 3 of us standing outside. And we're just doing this. We're looking at each other. And like, I remember it was me and Damon. We're basically like standing outside. We're looking at our watches. We're just doing this. We're just hanging. That's all we're doing. We're just hanging, just like. It's like we're just whistling. We're just waiting the drill sergeant. And then it's like, okay, 4:50, we're outside. I swear, it's like, it almost felt like we're reliving Forrest Gump. So you could just imagine me just being like outside. I'm just doing this. So, what we doing today? And here we are, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. I know, it's like someone please kill the silence. Like, okay, so it's just me and Damon. We're just doing coffee shop. We're just basically talking. So I said, so do you understand what we're gonna be doing for the next couple of days? We're gonna have to endure this kind of mess. I said, and Damon's like, mm-hmm. I said, mm-hmm. So I'm like, do we got plans? Like, he said, no. I said, okay, we got a plan then. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the following. We are going to say this. We are going to be the best that we can totally be in a worst case scenario. So when they ask us to get up at 5, we get up at 4:30, and we be out there at 4:50. Okay, that's the plan. And mind you, the days pass by, and of course, you know, I get my fair share of bullies. One guy in particular, his name is BC, steps up on me because he's bigger than me. I'm like, this is me. I'm looking up at him like, yeah. You want to know why they call me BC? It's like, I didn't ask, but sure, why they call you that? You know why, because I'm big country. I'm like, oh, good to meet you. You know I'm bigger than you, right? I'm like, yeah, I know you're bigger than me. So you know what I could do to you, right? I'm like, yeah. And you know what? I'm fine if you want to do that to me. I don't really care. At this point in time, sir, I don't honestly care if you want to beat me up. I really don't. Excuse me, I had to build this up a bit. And I said this, and I'm like, I gave him this straight, deadpan look. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't care if you want to beat me up. I don't care. I don't. I said, all I know is, as you, like the rest of us, was not aware that we be going to something like this. So if you want to beat me up, cool. I'm not going to be standing in your way. You can throw a punch at me. I don't care. I said, but rest assured, it's going on your permanent record. So think about that. Before you take that swing, before you test your manliness on me by throwing a swing at me, consider this. This is going on your permanent record. What we're doing right now, this is on our permanent record. This means while we're here, this is on the record. This is on our school record, so therefore it's not going to go away. I said, so therefore, if you want to swing at me, go right ahead. I'm not going to fight back. I said, because this is a military installation. I am not going to fight back. I said, I know my limits. I understand them. I said, I do not have the build to fight back. Not without a certain type of weapon. I'm not going to fight back barehanded. I'm going to have something in my hand to do it. It's going to be non-lethal, but I'm going to make sure if I need to fight back, I'm going to make it hurt as much as possible. Basically, yeah. So I just let you know, look, if you feel like you're angry enough to throw a punch at me, go ahead. I'm not gonna fight you back. No. It's like, at the same time, do you really feel like you want to fight me back? So consider where we are. We're in the out-ass end of nowhere. You wanna do it? Do it. I mean, seriously, you want to do it? Go right ahead. Just go ahead. Hit me. I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. I said, if I'm quote unquote smart, I know better not to try and say, all right, let's prove it. You gonna hit? Oh, he backed down. He backed down once he realized, you know where we are, right? I didn't even have to say, I was like, okay, but you know where we are, right? I said, and Damon as my witness, he was right there too. So I'm like, I said, look, he's a witness. So therefore, if anything happens, I said, I trust that my man right here has my back, and he would just say, this is what happened. So if anything, if I were to go down, I would say, Damon, look, man, if something happened to me, you are to tell them what happened. I did not throw a punch at him. He basically came at me. He bullied me. But I just said, you know what? I'm going to acknowledge it. It happened to me because, oh, hey, it happened. I can't do anything about it. And where we are, no, I'm not going to do anything about it. So he actually backed off after he realized, yeah, you know, we're in the ass end of nowhere. I said, we're in
no man's land. That means we are basically in nature. We ain't supposed to be here. It's like, yeah, I can tell by the way it sounds like, yeah, but you're black. It's like, yeah, but I'm not stupid. I said, yeah, I may be black, but man, I am not going to get my ass beaten down. Not like that. I said, if anybody, and I do mean anybody, were to actually ever take me down, it better be on good ground why you take me down. It'd be like Persona 5 Royal, I'm telling you. It would be like that. I'm like, you better have a damn good reason. Because I will explain to you in wholesale retail. Look, this is what was going down. No, did I do this? I said, I might have planned it, but it's not as it was sounded in my head as it were. So the entire rest of the excursion, it was either day 3 or day 4. Day 4, we were going on a nature hike. It was around maybe the observatory, because where the installation was, there was an observatory there. So it was like we were right near the Griffith Observatory. We could take one bus ride right there at the Griffith Observatory. Bam, just take a nature hike. Go near the observatory, but not to the observatory. We would have to make a climb. Like, for those who can make the climb, you're welcome to. I'm not going to make that climb. I said, I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do. I said, I can't climb to save my own skin. I'm not going to try it. So therefore, no, don't feel like it. I said, well, okay. I said, I'm one of those people who cannot do it because I'm like, My left side is not as, good as my right. So I can tell you that right now. So here we are. Day 3 or day 4. I remember when I was going through this, when I was going through all this madness, it's funny. On our way back, we were hoofing it. I said, everybody saying, and drill sergeant was saying at ease. I'm like, okay. All of a sudden, I said, okay, you are free to come back to the mess hall. So everybody was, hoofing it. Me, I was slowing back. I was slowing down, like really slowing down, like say there were like 40, 50 other people in front of me. They were faster than me. I'm like, I said, okay, my stamina was going down. The entire time that my stamina was going down, I'm like, I said, okay, I'm tired. Because I don't want to get something to eat, but I might as well get something to eat. In my head, I'm just going, let's see, what am I doing? And each one of them, they were just snickering because, kids back in the day, see. Yeah, my stamina, like, it took a nosedive. Much worse than how my stamina is now. Like, when I have a day, I can tell, like, my stamina, like, but after this, like, it's like my stamina would be like, here. It would just go limp. So the entire time, I'm walking back to the mess hall. Got 50 dudes running all the way at me. And me, I'm trying to struggle to actually walk. The entire time that I was doing this, So the entire time I was going through this, here I am. I'm just basically doing the following: walking, and walking, and walking. And I had this almost deathly look on my face, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this. Just the inside of me, just like, I felt this tap, 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 tap. Like, I'm just, like, I'm going right inside myself and just saying, what the hell's going on here? Oh. Okay. I said, you gonna let them get away with that? So what? They're talking about you. See, no, not gonna let them get away with it. Then why don't you do something about it? And I did. It's like, it's the one and only time I actually did the following. I ran. One and only time I actually ran as if my life actually depended on it. And that's the one and only time I will ever run as fast as I could. So, in my head, and mind you, it was a very long walk to where we were, which is basically from halfway down the field to the mess hall. They were all laughing, they were all snickering while they were looking at me. Because, you know, I had a visible limp. Cerebral palsy and everything. And here I am, I'm struggling. My left side is hurting me. And I'm like, okay, this is the one and only time I will ever do this. The first thing I thought about was a video game. And next thing else, I said, well, video game, huh? So what are you going to do when you get back? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. First it was a video game. Next thing was school. And next thing was, I said, I'm just going to greet my mom when I get back. You know, everything else. It was just like lighting a fire in me. And the most that I was ever getting out of it was I was mentioning how hungry I was. And as soon as I basically kept talking about food, something kicked in my system, and I basically went sixth gear. I basically went through sixth gear. I was running. I was like, like that's the one and only time I will actually run, because I was like, you saw nothing but a blur. Because I was passing through everyone. I had this pissed look on my face. It was almost like it's like Sonic the Hedgehog, but I was faster than Sonic the Hedgehog. It's almost like I was the Flash, the Roadrunner, Sonic the Hedgehog, and whatever, and probably even Superman. I was that pissed off. I was like, I'm going to make it home, motherfucker. I'm going to make it fucking home. I swear to God, I'm going to get motherfucking home. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to this motherfucking... back in my head, it's like, I'm going to this motherfucking thing. I'm going to go right to this motherfucking mess up. I'm going to eat like I hadn't eaten in a long goddamn time. I'm going to do this, and this is everything in my head. It's like, everything just like, just in a clear cut second, just like the entire time. And each and every one of them who basically ridiculed me, they shut up. Oh, I was past overdrive. I was like hyperdrive. I was like, boom. I'm like, boom. What the fuck was that? So what's that? So that was that dude. It's like, most of them know who I was, so I'm like, is it the cripple? What the fuck? Like, And I still had this angry look on my face. But I looked at them and said, So Damon just looked at me and said, "You alright?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "I'm just stuck in this mode right now." I said, "You look angry." I said, "I'm stuck in anger right now." So I'm just doing this. I'm just eating. I'm like, and I was just angry, but I was like stuck. My face was stuck in anger. Like right now, like, "Where are you?" I said, I'm fine, Damon. I'm okay. I'm just like it's just this. It's like, I would say it's like bonk. Like when he turns mad after eating a giant piece of meat, it's like basically picture bonk. And like I'm coming down from being super pissed to angry and then back to myself. So I'm like, it's like I was like like I could feel like every bit of everything that was going on. I felt the nerves like pulsing right then and there, like it's like all of a sudden I'm pulsing. It's like, why the fuck am I pulsing? And I'm stuck in this pulsed state. So this pulse state I'm in, like, oh, I was ready to blow. I'm like, I'm done. No, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I was like, right now, I'm like, I need to come down. 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 So I'm like, why the fuck was I so angry about? I was like, I felt like I was basically, it's like, this is Danganronpa before Danganronpa. I basically went through Danganronpa, and the entire time I was going through this, I was running. I'm like, I'm going to make it out of here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I said, without the urge to kill, the motive to murder, the urge to kill, and just saying, I want out. That was in the back of my head. I want out. I don't want to do anything else but want to get out of here. I want to graduate. I want to do A, B, C, D, F, G. So I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to be okay. But I'm letting it be known that it's like, okay, I know what I am. I know what I got. I'm pissed. I'm well aware of knowing that I'm pissed. I'm past the point of being pissed. So here I am. I'm like, just me coming right down, like, yeah. And I can tell you, when I went straight through boot camp, nobody looked at me the same way after that. Even when I got bullied, I'm like, it's like, I kind of like created a stand right there. It's like right then and there. It's like the last time I actually got bullied, somebody made the mistake of saying they're better than me, and I'm in the middle of doing a report. Oh yeah, it left a lasting impression. So it's like, the last time I actually did something like that, I was in the middle of Spanish class. We got the dumbass taking over for a moment, since my Spanish teacher, Mr. Preciado, he stepped away for a moment, and I'm like, I have a pair of glasses. I think I have my pair of glasses around. Oh wait, I got a pair of glasses. Okay, So, oh my god, these pair of glasses they are fucked up beyond the moment being fucked up. But I'm gonna put on these glasses. Okay, so they might not be in the best of shape, but they're okay as far as what I could do with them. So this is me. I'm wearing my glasses, and I'm just, I'm just looking at the lesson, and I'm just doing the lesson. The entire time, this dumbass is over me, and he's lording over this, the fact that, oh, I'm the teacher right now, and you have to do as I say, and how does this feel? It's like, I was like, please. I'm looking at him, please, could you get out of my face? Could you get out of my face, please? I don't want to, So what are you gonna do? I said, please get out of my face. So right then and there, you're disrespecting my personal space. So I give you 3 seconds. You don't get the hell out of my face. So I'm being nice. Because if you're going to kind of do this, I'm going to have to tell the teacher that this dude was in my face the entire time. Or else something's going to happen. So he kept doing this. And I'm like, okay. Glasses come off. Here I am. Glasses come off. And I basically did this. Well, let me see. It's more like this. But he was wearing a cheap ass chain around his neck. So it almost felt like I was doing this. Basically it was almost like I choked him. But basically I grabbed his collar close to where his throat was. And I basically gave him a get a 3 throw. Yeah. A get a 3 throw. If you don't know what that is, it's almost like a half giant. It's a half giant swing. I'll say this like it's almost a full blown giant swing, but it's a half giant swing. And I didn't throw him over, but it was mostly felt like I was doing an overhead throw. And I threw him right over to some desks. So for that moment, I stood up and I said, do not, whatever you're doing, do that again. And the entire class looked at me. They looked at the situation. They looked at me as I sat down and and I heard one guy say, never mess with the quiet ones. So the teacher comes back in, and I swear it's like it had the strangest adverse effect afterwards, because this is what happened. I got the strangest effect I never thought I would actually see from, say, this. Come to find out, the guy was he was in 9th grade. Now mind you, I'm 12 at this year. It's 18. He was he's 18, I'm 18. But the thing is, he was held back for 3 years. So, here's the thing. I went through the rest of the school day. And I'm like, I'll say period 3, Spanish. Okay. Then after that, lunch. Then after that, 4th period. Didn't care much for 4th period. 4th period was big. Fifth period, basically was English. As soon as it got in from English. And this is the funny part. I somehow built some kind of reputation just for that one moment in time. To a point to where it basically built the following. My first ever nickname. It wasn't Izzy. No. My nickname in high school was Izdog. Because of that one moment in time. And here's the funny thing. There was a lot going on. There was basically this. I had to deal with a very corrupt computer science teacher. I had to deal with trouble in math class because of they were going through a lot of transitions. So I had problems with algebra. So I had to take up at one point I had to take up summer school for it. And then at the same time, like, well, you know what? I don't mind doing summer school. It's fine. It's okay. So I'm going through so much stuff. I'm basically saying, you know what? see, there it goes. It's dog, yeah. And the funny thing is, this came from my English teacher. Because she overheard what happened. It's like fourth period, he went to the same English teacher I go to in fifth period. So news travels fast. And they looked at my records. The principal, when I was called into the office, along with my mom, she looked at me, and then she looked at my records, then she looked at my mom, and then she looked back at me and she said, "That's it?" She says, "I'm looking at your records. Your records are actually good. You know, you're actually like a straight A student, and you're maintaining a decent grade point average. You're like 2.3, 2.4. So it's under academic. You know, it's under. You know, was under honors, but you know, I was like maintaining some level of honors. It wasn't like 2.5 or 3. It was basically like 2.4, 2.3, 2.4. If I'm pretty sure what happened was if that one teacher didn't screw me over, I would have at least left with at least a 2.3 standard. A 2.3, if not a 2.4. I would have been good with 2.3, but that's still okay. I graduated with 2.7. But like I said, if I was like at 2.3, I would have been okay with 2.3. I'm like, I'll walk with a 2.7, but because you have to understand, it's like I was 2.2, like you said, like I said, it was a 2.5, so it was like 2.2, 2.3. So I was like a point in between 2.5, but I ended up saying, 2.240, something, I don't know. But I was like, sub under par. Here I am, I'm doing this. The entire time that I was going through this, here we go, we're going through this one moment right before the prom. So the one thing my mom did was she did the following. That one teacher that gave me so much problem, that was indeed a corrupt teacher, she handled him. Just like she handled with the strangest adverse effect I ever had in high school. She said because the only thing we just said was, the only thing that the principal said to us was like, well, we looked up the case, and the only thing you're only going to need to do is pay for the necklace you broke. I said, how much is that? $20. $20? $20? We were both looking at each other like. Then we looked at the principal like, oh, $20 just to pay back. Okay. I said, okay, so here's the $20. $20. Okay, we were good on our end. Because we gave $20 just for the repair of, said, this cheap ass necklace that boy was wearing. Come to find out that the other half, the one to receive this $20 for the repair, never came to that office. So it basically just ended up as, I said, well, since you don't really have a record on you, and you basically did what you was asked to do, we're not gonna hold that against your grade or your record, because you don't really have a record. You don't really have like some kind of, record. Your record's spotless. You're probably one of the best students we've ever had, and only because all I did was just say, leave me alone. I didn't start no fight, but I said, I want you to get out of my face. I do not want you to bug me about this. So the entire time, that I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, that's fine. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do the following. We are going to say, well, right now, don't worry about it. So my mom spoke to my computer science teacher, which was like the bane of my existence, because I think he was racist. I'm pretty sure he was racist, because he treated one batch of students better than us. The one that were trying, we were one of the trying batch. And basically he just had something against us. And like, so damn, I'm dealing with Persona 5 Royals all up in this bitch just because of this shit. So here I am. My mom handled it, and basically whatever she said, she must have said in such a nice, quiet voice. And she just said, she's like this, honey, go to class or lunch or whatever. I'll see you later. So you sure? You sure? So yeah, go on. And basically, she sent me off. I'm like, whatever is going on. She's like, I'll see you at home. It's like she's sending me off with my, like, I'll see you at home. Bye, honey. It's like, bye, mom. And all of a sudden, it's like a part of me just felt this. Like as soon as I stepped out, boom! Like, what the fuck was that? It's like she must have said something that basically shook his ass to the core. Because as soon as my prom came, here's what was going on. My date felt entirely shitty, but I wasn't. But the entire time I'm like, this guy, the same teacher who gave me, the same teacher who gave me such a hard time, called me sir. I'm like, sir? Why are you calling me sir? Why are you calling me sir? I forgot the dude's name. And I'm like, Mom must have did a number on his ass because he's calling me sir. I'm like, okay, okay. So it's like this. I even tried to tell my date at the time. Mind you, she was a childhood friend of mine. I said, it's okay. Mind you, preparatory high school. So preparatory high school, kind of like, stiff. It's all get out. So the entire time, here I am, I'm actually doing this. Anyway, the funny thing was the entire time, like I said, she was a childhood friend of mine. We weren't like close, but close enough. Not like really, really close, but because of our moms, they knew each other, so it's like, okay, we kind of knew each other, but we were like close. But anyway, the entire time, here I am, I'm doing this. Smile. And the entire time, the preparation for the prom, it was crazy. Because that's the strangest thing. It's like everybody's talking about one thing to me. That thing was, are you gonna get laid? The entire time. Not about the suit. Not about how good I looked. No, they were talking about, am I gonna get lucky? I'm like, I'm not gonna get lucky. I just want to go to this event. I know, it's like, for the entire time, all I want to do is, I just want to do the phone. Can I just want to get through this. And it's bad. And during that time, my uncle came out to see me. I hadn't seen him in like years. But my uncle came out, my Uncle Junior, came out and saw me. Because, it was a once in a lifetime experience, so he came out. Everybody was, taking pictures and whatnot and everything. I'm like, okay. Here I am, I'm nervous as all get out. Everything up to the 9s, the 10s, 11s. Getting the car ready, the limo for the ride out to the prom and everything else. Getting the suit and getting everything nice and everything. And like now it's like, that's what I felt. It's like in my head, I'm like, everything was like, just everything was just dying down because after prom was going to be, graduation. It wasn't going to be, that was basically the next event in line, which graduation after prom. So the entire time while I went to the prom, I basically danced with a friend of mine from a different track. And she didn't mind me me dancing with her because, you know, we knew each other when we were on the same track. So mind you, she was like on C track, I was on A track. But we both started on C track because of the same zip code. Yeah, same zip code. Because that's how they basically did that. Well, it wasn't C. We were on B. I'm sorry. We were on B track. So basically, we were on easy mode. A track was hard mode. C was like, whatever. But since we were on B track, I said, well, since we're both B track people, we might as well just make the most of it. So the entire time that I was going through this, you know, realized something. The food was meh. I smiled. I think I still have my prom picture around here somewhere. I'm not sure if I still have it. No, that's not it. I was thinking that was it. No, that wasn't it. No, the only thing I have on me. I can move all this out. Move out of the way. I thought I had this thing here, but it's not. This whole thing here, no. The only thing I have here is my mom's old driver's license. And if I can actually pull this up right here, this is what she looked like. This was her. This was her when she was alive. This is, well, I was a lot bigger when I was bigger. But I don't have that much as far as anything else is concerned. Whatever the hell that dropped out. I'll probably find it after stream's done. Anyway. Like I said, the thing about my mom was she was basically one of those kind of people who basically she wanted the best for me. That's what it came down to. She wanted the best for me. And there was a whole lot of stuff that was going on, but she didn't want me to worry about it. Even about this house, this was a thing that she didn't want me to worry about. She didn't want me to worry about where am I going to go. This house was, you know, basically saying, you know, this is your home. No matter what happens, this is your home. Regardless of what's going on, this is your home. So I'm not mad. I'm like, where I am now in my life, I said, well, I wouldn't mind if I had something coming in for myself so I can do something a little bit more than what I've been doing. At least for what it's worth and, you know, for myself. I said, oh, let's say something happens. Oh, I need to say have a secondary. Just in case. Let's just say something happens to this place. I need a secondary for anything. And I need to have the funds for it. That's basically the next step in the evolution of what I'm going to do after this whole year ends and everything about my case is taken care of. I said, well, after that, okay, help with this, help with that, you know. Then after that, oh, hey, now I can update this, I can update this, I can get this, I can get that, I can, you know, basically, you know, say, oh, I can update everything that I need to update. But as far as that's concerned, well, you know, it is something, but at the same time, I'm actually glad I made it this far. So it's like, yeah, I've been through a lot. Right. And nothing wrong with having a little bit of insurance. So, like I said, it's not bad. Just saying, at least where I would be versus where I am now. I wouldn't mind if I had some kind of backup just in case. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it is what it is. But I think for after everything else, I don't mind. I kind of wish if I was making something for every stream I was doing, it'd be for the content that I enjoy doing instead of like the content that they want me to do. So like what you could do is I don't want to play this kind of game. I don't want to play these kind of games that just like feels cheap. It feels sort of meh. It feels sort of trendy. I'm like, I don't do trendy games. I said I'm fine with just doing the games that people strangely generate to. Whether it's games like Phoenix Wright or Ace Attorney or even Spider-Man or even Mafia or something like that. I don't care. At least some people are coming out. Some people are saying hi. Some people are saying, "Oh, hey, I love this." And like, it doesn't matter if you're a fan of it. It doesn't matter if supportive of it. But as long as it's doing what it's supposed to do. So basically, oh, this is supposed to be a community. Okay, well, this is my part of the community right here. Everybody's welcome to show up. I don't even have to say, "Oh, hey guys, I'm streaming." I've never basically posted in LSW now about when I'm streaming. Like, no. I said, for those who are following me, when I stream. How long if I stream, I'm going to be here for a while. As if I don't feel like doing anything else, I'm just going to pop this up. I'm just going to pop my mic up, my this on. It's like, if anything else, like, I said, no, it's like this. If you're if you follow me on here, that means, okay, do you know I'm on? Okay, just say hi. I'm not asking for much. Just say hi. It's like the main people. Out of the main people of the community. It's like, hi. How you doing? Have you been... I just find it absolutely funny. It's just like I said. It's like, why people friend me, but it's like this. You have a friend list, but not many people want to talk to you on say friend list. It's like, you can talk to me, you don't have to you don't have to just friend me and just like, dude, lady, if you're going to do this, know that I can talk to you. Know that we can interact with each other. So please understand that I want to interact. Exactly. It's not like I'm going. It's like, hey. Like, no, I'm not going to go full blown Bowser Cooper on you. No, I just want to say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Is everything okay on your end? Just coffee talk. Nothing wrong with a bit of coffee talk. It's just a good thing to just get to know the people that want to get to know you. It's like, well, I want to get to know you. So, well, then we're on Discord. You can always just DM me. Don't just like, well, I'm too busy. You're too busy to say hi? Really? You're too busy to say hi? You're too busy to not say, oh, hey, Izzy, how are things with you and such and such and such? I'm okay. Thanks for asking. I mean, I'm just here. I'm still doing. Well, are you? Yeah, sure. I just find it funny with how social media is these days, especially with how it made us so absolutely strange to where Oh, numbers. So you're saying that numbers indicate if you're worth the time and worth the effort in interacting with somebody? It's like this. I played through basically the entirety of one case of Phoenix Wright, or rather, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. You come in right at the tail end, and then I say, you know what? I'm going to cut this off because, like I said, after everything earlier, I was going to shut it all down. But I said, you know what? Since I got my mic, since I got my webcam on, I might as well just turn my face cam on, and just say, oh hey, share a bit of story, do this, and share a bit about myself. It's the same thing. Oh hey, it's like, well, I'm playing this one game. That's nice. It's like the way I see the community as a whole. Hours don't mean shit. Hours don't mean shit. It's like in another community, listen to somebody say, well, I was playing this game for 10 hours. You mean you say you were streaming something for 10 hours? Yeah. So, why are you streaming this game for 10 hours? I said, please, enlighten me. I said, I can't do a game for 10 hours. I said, I will do something for, say, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and if it's something like, say, Spider-Man, I will do something for like 4 hours just because I'm into the game. And I'm just like, I'm enjoying myself for 4 hours. Just straight 4 hours. I'm not doing anything else, just enjoying one game for 4 straight hours. Until I just decide, okay, I made enough progress. I'm stopping. I said, I'll see you next time for whatever else game I'm going to stream. It's basically like that. I have no problem with doing that. But when I turn this off, when I turn the webcam off, when I basically end the stream, I press the number key. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done streaming. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go into another stream. Oh no. I'm basically gonna do the following. It's like, I'm gonna put up what I put up today, or what I just streamed the next day, and say like, I have something for Friday. This is Wednesday, so I already got something for Wednesday. Maybe I might want to put it up for Thursday morning, or maybe I want to do something, put something up for Friday morning. You never know. Just say I have something. I have something up. I have content ready for the main channel. I have something going. I have something good. It's basically just that. And it's the same thing. It's like, well, I feel just like with Hollywood is being so bloated, so is being on social media. It's so bloated. Like Discord, so bloated. It's like most people don't see it that way, but it's like, well, I'm streaming. Like, yeah, well, so am I. Well, how come you don't? Well, let me see. Do I have to? It's like any other time. Oh, hey, I post in here. I just say I'm here. I say, you see me every day. You don't have to get all upset. I'm basically answering your questions. And sometimes you don't like what I say about the answer. I can just basically say, you might not like me, but I'm just gonna let you know that I don't like crowds. What do you mean you don't like crowds? I said, if I'm in here, note that I'm answering your question of the day. I'll say hi. I said, oh, by the way, I'm streaming such and such. I'll see y'all later. That's it. I said, if you really want to know what's going on with me, DM me. You want to know everything that's going on, DM me. But I don't want to tell you my whole business of what's going on in a quote unquote public setting. I'd rather just tell you basically in a private setting. I say, if you want to know more about what's really going on in the background, DM me. Well, I'll explain everything from there. It's only right. It's only fair. I said, I don't want to even explain why I'm doing this. I'm like, well, you know, you're just. I was like, yeah, I know. But at the same time, I'm like, look, I ain't mad. I said, I just don't like it where we're in a phase right now where everything is bloated. Hollywood's bloated to where you're having these strikes happening. So therefore, guess what? That means there's gonna be a purge. There should have been a purge years ago, but it's like, oh, we went through the pandemic, so now we're going through a purge. Okay, guess what? You actors want A, B, C, D, F, G. You're not grateful that you're getting these parts. You're acting totally uppity about it. You're basically being a whorelet bitchlet about it, or a Karen twat face about it. And you know what? I don't care much for either one of you. Because really, if you're gonna be doing that, then you know, you shouldn't be. You really should not be doing this. If all you're gonna be doing is bitch fuck bitch. That's what it is. You heard a dog eat dog. It's like bitch fuck bitch. That's where it is right now. It's like Twitch is like that. It's like bitch fuck bitch. If you're not quote unquote popular, that means, oh, but you could be popular if you want this. I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want to play some cheap ass game that's just not going to generate anything other than, say, quote unquote, the fair weather followers. Now I can say I have people that actually come in here. I have you. I have my crew. I basically have the RCO crew in here. I have sometimes the LSW crew coming here, but I know you coming here, Chris. So you know you're cool people. You always tell me what's going on with your negative words. Is even though I don't, even though when you stream, I was like, well, whenever you stream, I'm gonna pop in and say hi. It's only fair, but you know you don't have to feel like, oh hey, so, oh hey he's streaming, like, yeah, but he's not generating people. Like, I said, of course not. I'm playing a game. Let me see. I'm acting 3 characters in one goddamn stream for 2 hours. If I'm not doing that, I'm playing a game for about 3-4 hours. And then what am I doing after that? I'm basically going to be on PS4, going through Persona 5 Royal, probably record some Star Ocean till the end of time afterwards. I get that. But still, it's like, even if you don't talk about your own streams, it's still basically, you know, oh, I'm playing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. It's like I'm doing everything, like what I'm doing in context and out of context. So it's like, well, this is what I'm doing after I'm done with this. When I'm done streaming, I'm going to be on PS4. I'm going to be playing this game for a couple hours. Then after that, I'm probably going to be making some more content for YouTube. Because basically after this, oh, this is going up on YouTube. This whole thing, with everything else, what I streamed and me on webcam telling this whole story and this whole spiel about what I've been going through, my life, it's all going up on YouTube. So basically, it's like, oh, you had a lot to say, didn't you? He was like, yeah,
I had a lot to say. Yeah, that's right. I had a lot to say. Got a problem with that? No? Good. I don't have a problem with that either.
It's like most people don't know, but it's like, oh, you have to dress up. No, I ain't dressing up shit. I ain't dressing up shit about my room. My room is what you see it. It's as real as real can get. I mean straight up. And I'm being as real as get. Just as my namesake is. It's basically just what it is. So, didn't know my chair was down, but this chair's old. This chair was from my neighbor. And I saved it from being something else. I mean, my butt has been through a lot. Seriously. But this is like, when I get another chair, I'll probably have another chair just like this, but probably a little more comfy. But at least, it does the job it's supposed to do. I mean, that's the only thing. It does the job it's supposed to do, and I cannot be... Yeah, sure, really. It's like, the chair still works. It's like, you know what, let me take that off your hands. My neighbor next door basically had this chair out. I basically said, you know what? I said, hey, do you mind if I take that chair off your hands? She said, sure. I said, okay. So what I did was I basically washed it down, watered it, and everything else while my brother was conducting business. I'm like, I wasn't even concerned about your business, but thank you for telling me anyway. So I was basically cleaning the chair here. So I had to disinfect it down. I had to do this. I had to do that. I said, that's fine. So where you go? I said, look, I can be resourceful when I need to be. I said, I'd rather take a chair that actually works for me, and I could be doing this because my TV's right here. So I could be doing this even if I'm doing a PS4 game. I could be doing this the entire time. I don't have to have webcam on to do this. Just like, just take it easy. Just do. There you go. But I think I overstayed my welcome for like 3 hours. Everything else. Oh yeah, what you be doing all the time? This. But no, really, no. I encourage you people, for those who are streaming, it don't matter if you have to be part of basically the following VTuber community. I don't care about that. I don't care about whatever community there is. No, if you're supposed to be part of something, you're already part of it. There's nothing wrong with showing up in a random stream. It doesn't hurt if raids happen or raids don't happen. It's not going to hurt you if you're going to show up in my stream. If you're going to stay for the game, that's good, cool. Or if you're going to stay around just because you like the sound of my voice, that's cool too. Or if you're going to stay around just because you see my face, that's cool too. But don't look down at me just because, oh, I have to have bells and whistles to get noticed. No, I don't feel comfortable with the bells and whistles. Just because, oh, well, if you want to get noticed, I'm like, look, if I wanted to get noticed, trust me, I would have been noticed a whole long time ago. But I would have gone about it totally different. It's about the same thing what I'm doing right now. It's like, I'm reinventing myself as a writer. I'm reinventing myself as an artist as a whole. And I feel that, gaining that reputation is the first step. And since I feel, yeah, exactly. I feel what's best for me is, if I'm able to create, that's enough. If I'm able to create, if I'm able to do this, if I'm able to do that, basically what I'm good in my head, that's what I'm good at. And that's what I'm going with. I said, my body's messed up. I already know that. I said, I just want something for my body. That's all. Just to say, oh, I have something because I got this. I said, oh, I got something going on in my head too. I know that. I'm aware of it. I just want other people to know that, you know what, I got problems. But problems is like, yeah, you want to see what I take? I take this, I take this, I take 5, 6 different medicines. I take 5, 6 different medicines every day. If not every day, every week. I said, I went through 2 operations. In my whole entire life, I had only 2 operations. One was for my left side, and that was when I was a kid. And my second one was for a stent. And, you know, after all that, I'm like, yeah, I can't work. I said, I gotta say, I can't work. Can't do it. I couldn't possibly do the same thing I could do when I was younger. Not anymore. But I could try and help when I can. That's all I can do. I said, stream? Yeah, I can stream that. I can play a video game. I could write a book. I could do this, but I can't do anything other than that. And I'm aware of it. What else can I do? But I think, like I said, I think I said enough, and I'm actually glad I got this off my chest. So, next time we're going into the quote-unquote final trial of Phoenix Wright. Yeah, the final trial of Phoenix Wright, which is the last part of Ace Attorney, and then go into the Mason system, which is also the last part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. And then after that, go back to, say, Mafia, and then whatever else I feel like doing. So, yeah, there we go. We have done what we were supposed to do today. This is a little something extra, but I'm glad you stayed around for the extra parts, in which, you know, just as important as the main part. So, thanks. I totally appreciate it. So until next time, whatever the hell I plan on doing, be it if it's the start, the middle, or the end, thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you next time, which will be Friday, for, yeah, Apollo Justice and the 7-year missing link of Phoenix Wright. So until then, thanks for coming out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.